Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Joni Young and I'm going to be showing you step by step how to do this acrylic painting of an old castle, ruins, I imagine somewhere in the highlands of Scotland. So come away with me to the hills of Scotland and let's create this piece one step at a time. Let's go over the colors quickly right now. First I should mention this is an 11 by 14 stretched canvas, an older painting underneath. I've been doing this quite a bit lately. During this lockdown, I'm not going shopping very much, trying to stay home, of course. So I just took some craft black paint and covered it up, let it dry, and we'll begin with the colors now. We've got titanium white, light ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, Mars black, yellow ochre, sap green, and that's it. So I want to start with the sky first, and I'm going to take my light blue and I'm going to make scoops like this. And it's kind of a moody, stormy looking sky. Nothing too scary, we just want to create a dramatic mood. So it's nice to have this black underneath. Take the rest of that blue and just create little soft scoops like this. I'll then take a little bit of my white and continue that, bring it down a little bit lower. Now our castle is going to be coming up quite high, but it has some windows in it, well, one for sure, and we want to be able to see that light through it. I'm going to take a little bit more white so light little scoops and then flicking up. Let's put some right in here just by using this large blending brush. I didn't even get this at an art store, this is just from a hardware store. Any patches of black in there I'll just brush over, and as you can see it just peeks through. So I'm going to leave it like that, and then later on as it dries, if it dries a bit too dark after it sets into the canvas, then I'll just do a light brush over, dry brush over. Okay, so I'm going to wash my brush off, set that aside, and switch over to my large flat brush. I use this one a lot, it's a number 11. And I'm going to begin by taking my yellow ochre, a little bit of black, so just yellow ochre and black. And we're just going to come in. Just kind of go up, making little blocks, and they can be a little rounded because it's very old and weathered. So it's really just little rectangles and squares, blocking in imperfect shapes. Have a little window. Let's have a little window right there. Unfortunately, we're covering up that pretty cloud that we made, but it's good practice for you guys to learn how to make those. Take a little bit more black this time. And pull across like this. Make that a bit darker. There's going to be little windows in here. Make them a little narrower. So without trying very hard and just doing this quite roughly, really not even really thinking about it too much, because when I do, if I try to plan something out too much, it backfires on me. I work best when I just let go and have trust in myself and the canvas and the brush. So I'm going to sweep down a little shadow there with the black and then come right down here and then up and over. So rolling hills of Scotland. Makes me think of one of my favorite shows, Outlander. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Outlander. Pretty much everybody is by now. Let's just dry brush this in. There's going to be another big hill right here that this old castle is just nestled in with green moss, rock foliage. Maybe I'm sure I'll probably add a few little waterfalls in there. Well, this is pretty moody already. Really helps having this black canvas for an underpainting. You get great contrast, shadow. Okay, so I'm going to use this same brush and I'm going to take yellow ochre. I'm going to use the bottom of my brush. Tap, green. So I get the green and the yellow ochre on there. I'm going to turn my hand over like this and I'm going to start adding some light right in here and some color. Now that definitely needs to be brighter. So I'm going to take a bit of white, tap together, and you want to barely touch the canvas. Start adding, once it's coming up. Okay, and then we've got more right here. Goes up. Let's take some green, mix that in, and come back over here. Now as I get over in here, it's going to be darker, so I'm going to take some black now. Black and sap green. I'm going to begin tapping in here. And then I'm going to go straight up with it. When you pull lines straight up like this, it's going to give it that feeling of height. It's going to make it look taller. Let's take some more black right in here. those windows, but we can go back. I just want to add some black to the tip of my brush and just do some lines like this. Some little bits of some more shadow in there. And then we can go back to our yellow ochre. Maybe the sun was setting through this storm here, and we've got some highlights. We can pull in, add some white. Just pull a little bit there on the edge. Inside those windows, there's just a little bit of light. Take a bit more black. And go across and down. Across like this, and then little lines down. Okay, now I'm going to go down here on the bottom and take that green, a little bit of white. I don't want it to be all the same color. I want like a variation in there and just kind of let it do its own thing. So I'm going to start here, lightly drag. Let's create some hills. Grass and moss. Now this one I want to take a little bit of my burnt sienna, pull in a bit of a red earthy color in here. Maybe there's another one that comes out here. To my greens. And we're going to leave this black down here. I think that looks really cool already, and we're only 14 minutes into this painting. So my goal is to teach you guys the easiest, non-overwhelming, intimidating ways to create a painting. I'm self-taught, and I've taken probably 25 years to get to this point where I feel this comfortable and I trust myself. And I do make a lot of mistakes still, but I, for the most part, know a lot about light and shadow and color theory and brush strokes, and the easiest, quickest way to achieve what you're wanting to. I'd love to share that with you guys, and I just really appreciate all of the feedback I'm getting from you guys. Thank you guys so much. It makes me want to keep going, and especially to all of you over on Patreon. My goodness, I don't know what I would do without you guys. You're amazing. Such a great support group over there. Okay, so I want to, let's see, I want to switch over to a filbert brush. This will give me a softer edge now. So I don't even have any paint on it. I just got a little bit of water. This is number 16. And I'm going to scumble away and softly blend inside some areas where I've left black inside, so closest to it. I can take a little bit of green actually. A little bit of green in some spots. I want it to look like a velvet almost. And it kind of does, working on a black canvas. Reminds me of those paintings they used to do in the 70s. I remember when I was a little girl and whenever I'd go to somebody's house, they would have a painting on the wall done on black velvet, and I remember thinking it was just the coolest thing. Now that would be fun if I could stretch some velvet over a canvas or a frame and do that. I think that would be really fun to paint on. Something I've never tried. If you guys have ever tried that, or if you know the kind of painting I'm talking about, leave a comment below and let me know. Just going to lighten this a little bit in some areas. Right. Kind of flatten my brush. Push, wiggle, and get it nice and flat on the end. Pick up some of my black. Just kind of faint little line there. I'm just going to tap for a little shadow there. I want to make this darker, so I'm going to bring some black in here. Got to go back and remember to add those windows back in there. Let's put some black right in here. Remember, lots of lines this way and this way, or on an angle. Gives it that old stone look. And then right in here, very softly flick. Right behind this hill. This will make that really look like it's set back there in the distance. And then right in there too. Bring it up over there. A bit more of a shadow in here. I'm going to help get this paint on my brush by adding a little bit of water just to loosen it up. Come in here with black, dip down, a bit more of a smooth look, right in here, up and over. Picked up a little bit of that brown, so I want to bring that black right back in there. Tap different ways and then pull. A little bit more black in here. Now whatever's on my brush, I'm just going to scumble out. And then I'm going to take some more of my yellow ochre, green, white, and very lightly drag. Lightly drag, there we go. Lighten that up a little bit. Those same colors. I don't want to touch this black down here. I want that to stay dark. I just want to make a muddy, deep grayish, greenish, yellow ochreish kind of color in there. Okay, so I want to brighten up the highlights a little bit more, so I'm going to actually squeeze out a little bit of my yellow. You can use any yellow that you have. I have lemon yellow right here, so that's what I'm going to use. Okay, so I'm going to take some yellow on the bottom of my brush. I'm just going to make it like that so it's a little bit tackier. Now we'll start adding it right in here. A little bit up in here. And a little bit in there. You choose where you want the light to be. A little bit of white. Little dabs and pulls. See how easy it is to just create all those little banks and hills just by how you're using your brush. If it mixes in with part of the black, even better. This is going to dry a little bit darker. I'm going to take a little bit of what I have left here of my sap green with that yellow and put a little bit in there. Maybe way back there. It's got some moss growing on it. I'm going to take burnt sienna, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of white, and add a little bit of that right down in here. Scumble this around. get a little bit more subdued and back there. Pick up a little bit of black. Soften wherever I think I might have a little bit too much of that yellow and not enough shadow. So it's really easy to just bring in a little bit more of that shadow where you need it. Okay, I'm going to switch to my small flat brush. I want to take that yellow, white, and burnt sienna. And I'm just going to add another little dab here for some light hitting, you know, just on a few little sides here. I'm going to take some black. A light little outline here just to make this stand out a bit more. Okay, so it's time to bring that light back in. Now I think my blue is all dry. I'm just going to grab a little bit more. Let's take a bit of that light ultramarine blue, white, a little bit just on the tip of your brush like that, and a little bit just like that. That's all you need. Kind of like to go up and then pull over. I like them to look like they have kind of an arch shape to them. Now, put one right there, maybe one there. You can add as many or as little as you want. There, I think I'm going to leave it like that. Now that this paint in the sky has had time to dry, it has set in to the canvas quite dark. I don't want this to look scary. I want it to look kind of romantic, beautiful, moody. So I'm just going to soften this a little bit, make it look a little bit more inviting. Picking up that white, a little bit of blue, and a little bit of water. I'm going to take a little bit more of my sap green that I mixed up with yellow ochre, take a bit of black, a little bit more. So you can make a different color of green. We can make green even just by taking yellow and black together. And create some more look of stone, a little bit of a pattern here. So I'm taking yellow, burnt sienna, and white. Tapping the two on the bottom of my brush. I'm going to pick a few spots. Just pull over and make it look a little bit softer over here. I really do like it like this, but I think I need to put a little waterfall in somewhere. A little bit of a waterfall, maybe a few little sun rays right in here. So I'm just going to take my little bit of my blue and we'll have a little bit coming down. Just a little one right there. If we don't like it, we can always change it. I'm going to take a little bit of black with my blue, get a little bit darker. We take some black and yellow, make green, dark green here. Got a little bit of hill with waterfalls coming down. So use your imagination. It's your own world you're creating. I'm just going to dry this off and then I'm going to add a few little sun rays. You know me, I love sun rays, and wherever I can add them, I will. So we'll be back in 2 seconds. Okay, so it's all dried off now. Okay, so I'm just going to decide here. I think the light is definitely hitting there, so I should probably have a few like that. And if I don't like it, I'll just take it off, but I think I'm gonna like it. I think sun rays always make everything better. A little bit on a damp brush and I'll just come in right through here. I'm just going to do a couple, nothing too crazy. And I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I really like the way that looks. I say that and then I go back to it. Okay, maybe just one more. Okay. All done this one, guys. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. And don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and please, please, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. See you next time, everybody. Happy painting.